Hello, everyone. So today we don't have any guests that I will interview. I'm gonna try a new thing. We're gonna try a new thing. You can join my Discord server. The link is not in the description of this video, and this is my mistake. So people who know about this event are already in my Discord. But I'm gonna share my screen and tell you what would I like to discuss today. If you want to, you know what? I'm gonna just add a link to the video description. I'm gonna go to my workflowy, copy the link. So the idea of this kind of stream that I want to try out today is that you can join my Discord server and you can join the general voice channel and just ask questions there. We can have a discussion. Because I really like the format of Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces where you can just talk to people. I think it has much better dynamics than, let's say, YouTube comments, which first of all have a delay of approximately 20 to 30 seconds, depends on the stream setup. But also it has much less connection. You don't connect to the person who you're talking with. So my links, my Discord, copy the link. All right, let's go. YouTube Studio. And here I have this stream. Okay. Here we go. The link is actually there. So if you want to chat, just join the Discord server. Look at the left panel. There will be voice chat, voice channel, and we can chat there. Anyways, I'm gonna show the plan for today, what I would like to talk about. How do I share my screen here? Share screen. Yes, entire screen, share. And here you go. So first thing, I would like to at least begin developing the Discord bot for the community. One of the things that I'm sort of lacking in like native support for the to plan the events in Discord. So that's the first thing that the Discord bot will need to be able to do. Planning events and the calendar. Next thing, and maybe we'll actually start with this next thing, is React Hook Form, about which I have quite a lot of videos on my channel, has now a new major release, which is version 7, and the API have changed slightly. And I would like to try it out and see how it works with TypeScript and how everything is in the new version. So we'll check out the React Hook Form 7. And maybe Q&A to have more people today. Have a comment. All right. We have a question from Andrei. Can you show the way to join? Can you show the way to join the server? Yes, I'm gonna show it now. If you look at my hey Andrei, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? Let's try it out. I see that you made your way to the general voice channel.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes. I hope you're using headphones, otherwise we might have different sound problems. But seems that everything is all right. Yeah, cool. How are you doing, Andrei?
Yeah, let me just, I think I'm hearing you. Great, thank you.
Yeah, you probably should mute the YouTube video as well, because otherwise you will have overlapping voice.
Okay. I just did.
Nice. What would you like to discuss today?
Well, maybe some basic questions. Ask some questions about you. I think it will be interesting for your subscribers because I found your channel and it wasn't long ago. And, that is a shame because I should have found it long ago when I was just starting on my when I embarked on my journey to learn JavaScript and React. So I used to work at a company as a support operator. I talked to customers on the phone, and that allowed me to practice my English. And then I decided to switch to JavaScript and front-end developing. So what you are doing on your channel is great.
Thank you.
I have watched most of your videos, and I found a lot of useful information in your videos. And yeah, I hope that you will release more TypeScript
I will.
tutorials because I found a job recently where it is heavily used, and my employers told me that it's very important. So basically, this is what I want.
Yeah, that's cool. I actually had the idea of working on a TypeScript course publicly. So one of the things that I wanted to do, I actually can share my screen again and talk a little bit about that. No, not like this. Yeah. I actually will also write it down here. TypeScript course. I was planning to release a TypeScript course with Zero to Mastery, which didn't happen, but I have a plan, a learning plan for a course that I don't know if I will ever release a paid course. At least I don't know. I don't know if I will release a paid TypeScript course this year or maybe or next year. But I decided to just go through the curriculum and scale it down a little bit and release a several hours video about TypeScript. What do you think about that? So it will be a free YouTube course, free TypeScript course published on YouTube. Basically, the outline is here. And I think it would be interesting to discuss with people on the stream, maybe a bunch of host a bunch of streams in a row about this idea to discuss, shoot ideas on what should be included in this course. Right now, you can see that first we need to cover the basics, of course, variables and types, arrays and tuples, objects, type interfaces, types and interfaces, intersection and union types, functions, and so on, generics. This is a big topic. I think it can be covered in a bunch of lessons. So first you cover the basics, just how to use them, and then you can go in depth. Maybe it should be included into the course, maybe not. Let's see. I'm not sure exactly about the projects. I think it's important because if we talk about the semantics of the language, then it's pretty much covered in the documentation. So what's the point of releasing the course that will be just reciting the docs? There is not much value in it, right? So maybe it should actually be based on one or two projects. Thing with TypeScript is that you can use it both for the front end and for backend development if you use TS Node or just compile your TypeScript to JavaScript and then develop a regular Node duplication. And then I think a good course would actually include both platforms, let's say. So yeah, any specific things that you would like to know about TypeScript?
Well, what you just said that, and what I like about your channel specifically is that you never just recite the documentation as many popular YouTubers do. And what I love about your channel is that you have a deep insight into the topic that you are discussing, and you are presenting it from your experience. So that's why it's so interesting to watch.
Well, not always. To be honest, I sometimes just tinker with technologies. Not everything that I show on my channel I actually use day to day.
Well,
just to be fair.
As I said, you seem to have an insight into what you are talking about. So it's not that you are just scratching the surface. It seems that you are going deep into the subject, and That's what I like about it. Then going back to the TypeScript question, of course, it would be great to have it tested on real projects. And my main goal is to learn how to interact it with React, because when you have to write types for HTML forms and functions, that creates a lot of issues for me. So that would be great, of course. First TypeScript and then integrating it with React and using it with React. And then what's very important is that how to type a reducer actions and how to integrate it with Redux. Because I found it's very hard for me to get the type of store sometimes. So when I started working with TypeScript, I found that it takes me about 20 to 30 minutes just to Google for an error and then fix it.
To be honest, both topics are actually covered in my book. I think you wrote somewhere that you started reading the first chapter.
Yeah, I have the first. By the way, yeah. You know that you brought it up, and I think the book is based on a real project.
Yeah, it's every project is a chapter. Every chapter is a project.
Yeah.
So first one, we're building, I think this one, first app, we're building a Trello clone. And in Redux, I think we're building a drawing application. And I thought that it's an interesting example because there you have the cross-cutting concern. You have an action. So for example, I think when you undo the stroke, you draw something and then you need to undo it. Then you need to update 2 slices of the reducer. I don't exactly remember what happens in this application. I haven't touched it in a while. But here's the store. We have history index. This is where we store all the actions that have been performed with the picture. We have current array of strokes so that we can actually modify what is being drawn on the screen. We have the current stroke because it consists of an array of dots, of points. We have UI state. I'm not sure if it actually should be in Redux. Maybe now I would do it differently. And we have a projects list. Again, it's something very specific to loading the project. And right now, if I would be writing this chapter, I might have done it differently. I don't know. But if we look at the types and how do I handle it here, I think I have app state somewhere in the project. Let's try to find it. Where could it be? Oh, root state. Let's click it and see where is it defined. So actually defined it in a types DTS file. Again, that's another thing that I would do differently. DTS files are usually automatically generated to go along with JavaScript code. So if you're doing making a TypeScript library, let's say, and you need to distribute it, most likely you will create a JavaScript bundle. You will build out the library, and you will provide the types DTS types definition along with it. So it's not something that you manually should do. So right now, I would probably rename it to just types.ts without the D, because it's not necessarily type definitions.
On my current job, I have noticed a lot of D, and I have a question what it actually means. The D.
I can show another example that will probably make a little bit more sense. So if I think we should go to GitHub. Do we have another guest?
I think so. Somebody is asking about your book. It's called Full Stack React with TypeScript, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So regarding the DTS files, so here's the library, NanoID. It's like UUID, but the format is a little bit different and it's smaller. It's, by the way, made by...
It's deprecated, I think.
NanoID, nothing says about it being deprecated. Why do you think so? Last change was 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah, short ID. I'm sorry, short ID was deprecated. Yeah.
Okay.
I
No.
used in one of my projects, and then later I found out that it's not supported. Yeah, it was about short ID. I'm
Okay, no, yeah, no, nano ID is still up to date. Problem with it is that it's not UUID. It's not a drop-in replacement. It does the same thing a little bit differently. So if you rely on the UUID format, then you might have problems with Nano ID. Hello, do we have new people? Sujit, Turing, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. How about you?
Super awesome. So far, things going quite well. I really like the dynamics that we can really just chat on the stream. I think it's awesome. So I was going to talk. Sorry, go ahead. Okay, sorry to interrupt. I will then just continue talking about what I was talking. I was going to show what does the DTS file. What do they do? So this library, when you install it, it will have the sort of compiled, not compiled image, but the bundle itself. But also, if you want to use it with TypeScript, it will provide the index DTS file. And this file contains the type definitions for the JavaScript that this library contains. So unless it would have custom alphabet with this definition for this function, we wouldn't know what kind of arguments does this function accept, and so on. You would have to either install this DTS file separately from the definitely typed package, or define it yourself in your project. So this is what those DTS files are usually for. And also, if you look at the package.json, you will see that we have the field called types. And this is how your project or your package knows where to find the types definition for this particular library, because it's defined in its package.json. It's part of the package definition. So again, going back to my code for the book, I don't think that what I did here with types DTS should have been called like, no, it's here. It shouldn't have been DTS. It should have been just TypeScript file, because the definitions are usually specifically to provide types for the JavaScript code, not like this here. Maybe I should actually just rename it now. Okay, what's the problem now here? Not find modules model slice. I think it's just acting up. Whatever. I will rename it back and fix this problem later. Yeah, thing is that with the book, it's quite a big effort, and then I get better at programming anyway. I learn more things, and my understanding changes. So yeah, it's the thing that I thought is going to be just one big project, but it turned out to be a lifestyle change. So that now I have to edit it over and over and republish the chapters. But what I wanted to show is, first of all, as you can see, I've just defined the type for the state, that it's an object that contains the information about the current stroke, and it has the type that I defined for it. So each stroke is an array. Is an array of points, and also it has a color. This makes sense, at least to me, that when we make a stroke, it will have a color with which we made the stroke and an array of points which we connect. And then I can use slices of this state. So if we go to the, let's say, current stroke, and we have a slice here, and we have the initial state, and I'm taking only the field current stroke from this type. So I don't have to define this part of the state again, because it's already defined, and I can take only the part of this state. Type current stroke equals root state, and then we get only the current stroke field. Now, if we take a look at this type, you will see that it's exactly the definition of this part of our state. Is that what you were struggling with, Andrei?
Yeah, something
Yeah, so that's how I would approach this.
So you were talking about a course you were working on, an extensive TypeScript course that you'll. When are you planning to start releasing the videos?
I'm thinking how to do it better. So one option would be to just have a playlist with a bunch of videos, and I would release them gradually. Another way of doing this is to just work on those videos, not publish them, and then merge them into one big video, maybe 3-5 hours, something like this. The reason
It's better to do both.
both. How?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean,
both would be better.
What would be better?
Both.
Why both? What's the benefit of doing both?
Most of the YouTubers doing the same thing. They are creating playlists with short videos and then merge them together and publishing free code camp or their own YouTube channel.
Oh, really? So it's actually legit, and people like that when they see that.
I think Maxim, from a creator's standpoint, one video would be better because the single video will have more views and all.
Exactly.
If it gets divided, then it will be easier for us as subscribers to follow.
But you can have those timestamps in the video that would still allow you to navigate through
Yes,
the big video.
That's true.
But yeah, the thing is that if I would do it gradually, then first of all, it's easier to stay accountable and continue doing it instead of when you just have this project being hidden from everyone. Actually, I would like to do it sort of more publicly. One of the ideas of those streams, Radio Maksim format, is that I can chat with the community and see what people actually want to know about TypeScript. It's very easy to write sort of for yourself, like what I think is important to know, but really, it's really important to know what other people need from this course. So I would like to communicate more about my videos, and I think this sort of streams where we can just chat is a great opportunity to do this. Yeah, we can go through the curriculum. Do you see it on the screen? Is it visible? Should I make it a bit bigger?
Yes, it's visible.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm confused listening to your voice in here in Discord or in YouTube.
Just mute YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we don't have any sound issues whatsoever. That's quite cool. Did you all put on headphones?
I did.
Yeah.
Cool. Good job. Thank you, everyone. That's great. So yeah, one of the things is to mute the video, and I think actually it's gonna be good to publish some sort of guide how to join this kind of streams, because I think Andrei was confused a little bit in the beginning, and so other people might be as well. But yeah, let's go through the TypeScript YouTube video plan quickly. Just glance through this. I don't know if it's even possible. Like, I decided that first module, covering the basics, won't have a project because it's very basic things. It's very hard to focus on illustrating the things that TypeScript can do while also building a big project. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it could be something like to-do application instead. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, by the way, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Exercises, you can monetize it by offering free access to the videos, but those who want to do the exercises and get them checked have to pay a sort of a small fee.
Actually,
because I would do it free for everyone, but get your exercises checked and pay a small fee.
a problem with checking exercises, it's a lot of work that will have to be sort of not repetitive, but I will have to do it over and over. I'm not sure that I have the resource to do this. That's the deal.
Maybe or make it automatic or hire someone and maybe provide. I don't know. Yeah, it's up to you, of course.
But I like the idea to make the exercises paid.
Yeah, it's good.
I would like to have my code checked by a professional, because what I write, and I have had it tested, and when you provide feedback, it's very, very useful, because Otherwise, you are not growing.
Yeah, true. Actually, I think it's a good idea if you want to have your code reviewed. If it's a small thing, small isolated component or small isolated tests, you can just publish it for the next Tuesday. I think I'm gonna do another stream like this one next week as well, and I can take a look. I think it would work well as well, because last Friday I did similar thing for the Russian React course that I'm teaching in, and I was reviewing a homework of one of the students. It took around 3 hours approximately to review it, but we did it really in depth. So I started with just glancing through and giving the feedback that I could do straight away. And then I said, what if I will cover it with tests now and refactor it? Because you cannot refactor without tests. So I don't care what the component should do. I will just fix whatever functionality it has right now. And then we would change the code, and the tests will actually ensure that we're not changing the functionality. And then for 3 hours, we were first writing the tests and then refactoring the component. And it was amazing. A lot of questions that I got, like, why are you doing it like this? Why are you testing this and not that functionality? I would not have an idea to even answer them if no one would ask them. I mean, when you work on a course on your own, you have some basic questions that you imagine your students might have, but that's not what they would actually have if they would see you working on it. So that's actually an interesting format. I think we should try it as well. About the price, what do you think is reasonable for this kind of paid exercises? What would you be happy to pay?
I think this is a very subjective thing, because depending upon the currency, it can be higher for some countries, it can be lower for some countries.
Yeah, no. I just would like to hear some ideas.
Well, that depends on the exercise, how big it is, and if it's just, I mean, if it's simple, takes a few lines of code, it's one thing, but it really depends. I would like to see an example of an exercise, and then I can estimate.
Okay, let me think of something. Let's say it's going to be 10 exercises, approximately looking like, a small component, and you either need to implement the component itself and you have the tests, or you have the type that you need to define and you have the type tests. Each exercise should take you maybe 10 to 20 minutes, and you have 10 exercises like that.
Well, first of all, I don't think it's the right idea to charge separately for each exercise. It should be a bundle offer.
Yeah, it's going to be a bundle.
If it's a bundle, and you have 10, you said, yes?
Mm-hmm.
10, and, well, it's I should think about it. Yeah, it depends. But I'm sure there will be people who will be willing to pay for the exercise, and I think that I'll be one of them.
I'm thinking about something cheap, because I didn't even have an idea of monetizing it in the first place. Maybe $15 or something for the exercises, just to try the waters. I don't know. Let's see.
For a bundle, you mean?
Yeah, for a bundle.
Yeah, that is a great price. I can tell you for sure that I'll definitely purchase the bundle.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome. Who's yelling?
That was nice.
Okay, who do we have there? Andrei, Itimas, Maksim is me, Sujit, Turing. Right.
He left.
Okay.
He left.
What did he yell? What was it?
He didn't like the price.
Okay, yeah, most likely.
Too high.
Now, one of the things that I'm kind of being a little bit afraid of during those streams is that someone will actually say something that will block my channel. That's one thing. But I think that right now I'm too small for such things to happen to me.
Well, yeah, but I think you can edit right in the YouTube Manager, maybe mute this part. If it comes to it, they will give you an opportunity to work on it for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of overhead to review what we're talking about today. So yeah, I like the idea of the exercising being paid, and maybe it shouldn't be even as a bundle. Maybe it's something like, if you're my patron, then you get the exercises for this video. That's it. It's even simpler
Also,
logistics.
You should have both options. I
Hmm?
have patrons or just people who wish to purchase it.
Maybe I'm using the word maybe too much. Yeah, then the course curriculum. So first we need to learn the basics. And for me, basics is all those topics: variables and types, arrays and tuples, objects types, the array up till generics and even the unknown, any, never, and other types like that. What else?
What about React, Redux?
Yeah, I had.
Actions typing with users, that is very.
Okay, let's write it down.
How to correctly write types for users, for actions, for forms, like HTML form element. A lot of delicate issues that can kill your time if you don't know TypeScript.
Thing with forms and HTML elements is that usually it's not how to describe it. It's something that is very confusing when you just see it first time. Like, how do I type this particular element? For example, if you're using a ref, what the hell is going on with the sun? I actually covered all my. Actually, I can show what I was doing. I covered all my windows with blinds. It didn't help. I still have this slits from the sun still can reach me.
But it's okay for us.
UK for you, not very comfortable for me.
A master with a sun on his face look good.
Yeah, anyway, I was going to talk about the HTML element types. I'm trying to find an example where I actually was using it. Oh, that's actually from the React course. What is it? No, not this one. I think in the first chapter, I actually had to use types of the elements. Completed. Utils, use focus. Yeah, HTML input element. Thing is that everything that is HTML related, nodes and such, usually just starts with HTML, then whatever thing you need, HTML form element, HTML select, so on. And I just rely on autocompletion for this, or I just remember it because I used it a bunch of times. That's basically it. And in a lot of cases, if I don't know how the things would work, so for example, with React Hook form, you have this on submit, handle submit or on submit function, and if you define the handle submit function separately, then you will have to provide the types for the arguments, right? But if you pass an inline function to this thing, then you will be able to just know what kind of arguments does it expect, and they will be automatically typed. TypeScript will infer the types from the onSubmit type definition. So I don't know, maybe actually what I explained right now should be just included into this course and have a bunch of examples, and that's it.
Yeah, but for example, when you're using style components and you want to pass the attributes to, for example, we should use, I don't know, button attributes, and the generics should be HTML button element. And then if you want to pass the ref, it doesn't accept the ref. It's going to be a bit complicated.
Okay, I didn't work with the refs here. Yeah. Style, you say the style components are.
I mean, for example, when you're creating a wrapper around button, for
Mhm.
example, B with capital case, and you want to unclick, handle the unclick event on that button with capital B, wrapper around the HTML button. You should pass the attributes type, and when you want to use ref on that thing, you should forward the ref. These are things that complicated for beginners.
Should we try it out? I still don't understand what will be the problem. Let's just create a sandbox with TypeScript. Is it only with styled components?
Any CSS in JS that you want to pass.
Yeah, okay. Let's say stuff.
native.
Let's go. Okay, I'm going to remove all that. We don't need it. And let's say we define styled components. Import styled.
And
I think.
a wrapper button component.
Wait, we need to install the types styled components first, because that's one of the packages that don't have type definitions included. All right, it's good now.
Yeah.
Const button equals styled button, and let's say it's gonna have.
No, not like that. Not like that.
Okay.
Like a separate component, a separate file that called, for example, button.
Okay.
And that button return, for example, a button base inside it that accepts the, styles, and return a button base.
This should be the. I don't really get it. I probably do something differently. Just guide me through what do you envision. Actually, you can join me.
Material, all of them. Material, you macro, all of them right like that.
Am I doing it right so far?
Okay. Yeah. And at the bottom of this page, const button base.
Should I export it?
No. The button base has all the classes, all the styles, and then we are returning the button.
Here.
Yeah, a button base here in the bottom of the page. It has all the styles, and the button has, when we want to override the default. For example, the size should be medium. For example, we are, destructuring and then having a default value for the button.
And let's say.
No. The button base should be a styled button.
Okay. It should be.
And then we are, the extreme has delay for me.
Yeah. I understand. I've just defined the button base. Import styled from styled components.
Yes.
Let's say it has color red, whatever.
Yeah. And when we are using button, you can't access the unclick handlers from TypeScript point of view.
What is it complaining?
Wait, it's the importing React, maybe? I don't know.
No. It's complaining about property text is missing on type children any, but required on type text any. What?
Button base, not button.
Oh my god, yeah, of course.
Button base.
Yeah, sorry. Button base. Okay, what now? Was used before.
To import the button, for example, passing the unclick on the button,
Yeah.
TypeScript didn't detect that button because it didn't provide the.
What is it complaining here? Must be the last. Okay, that's what I thought. All right. Now, and you say that we will want to use the ref with this button, right?
Any function on the button. For example, on click on the button with capital B. TypeScript won't prefer the type. You should, pass the attributes and the HTML button element. TypeScript detect.
Okay, let's try it out. Const.
In app.
Yeah, let's do it there. Yes, let's do it in the app. Import button from button. Then here we'll have our button with some text, hello, TypeScript. And then here, let's say on click, yeah. Boom.
See that when you are writing on click or anything, TypeScript didn't refer to any of attributes of button.
Text is missing. No, wait. So far, actually, nothing really happened. So no. Did it a bit wrong.
Maybe children, maybe it hasn't children.
Implicitly has any type. Okay, it's easy to fix. Okay, now it will have children. Okay, and now the on-click is being highlighted. Doesn't exist on type intrinsic attributes, children React node. Okay, it doesn't know that. Okay, but it's kind of logical that we need to make the button component know that it accepts all the props of the regular button.
Yes.
Um,
And because of that, it's a bit confusing for our junior developers in our company. They didn't know it. Something like button attributes that can get button HTML elements.
okay, but we can check what type would it have. Button base, what props does it have? Stealth. How do we do it actually?
Yes, but the default, you can you can pass the FC can get a generic.
Yes.
Then generic could be button attributes that accept another generic. It could be button HTML elements. The generics inside the FC can get a generic.
Wait a second.
Button HTML attributes, another generic inside button HTML button element.
Yeah, exactly. HTML button element. That is quite awkward. Yeah, now
all of the CSS and JSs are like this.
But it's not the problem with the CSS and JS. It's the problem with our component only.
No, yeah.
Because I think button base would already know that.
Yeah, definitely. And also if when you are want to passing the ref, it doesn't accept the ref because it's not a JS6 attribute. It is only.
It's not the prop.
HTML button. Yeah, the ref isn't the property of
yeah. It's a separate thing. It's very important to remember, but they specifically tell about this in the documentation that you need to forward the ref. And actually, another thing that we need to do.
No. Also, I know you should forward the ref, but I mean the TypeScript isn't referring to ref because we aren't saying.
Uh-huh.
Even if you are forwarding the ref and the TypeScript error won't let you build the app if you have that option in the JS config.
Okay.
Because the ref isn't property of button attributes.
What is it complaining? Use ref is not defined. Yeah, just did it. So now we have the button ref. We're going to pass it to the button. All right. Of course, we get a complaint that the component can't have it. So we have forward ref equals forward.
Even with forward ref, not gonna refer.
No. But I just want to reproduce the problem.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Ref, and here we pass it. Okay. And now it will actually complain. But now this is the style, the CSS and JS problem.
Yep.
Exactly.
And this is not a CSS and JS problem. It's actually the wrapper that we are, how can TypeScript know that this wrapper is wrapping the button, HTML button?
Well, because we use the function, the factory function that already knows that we're creating a styled button. So actually, it's a problem with CSS and JS, I think.
But I test some of them, emotion and the style component, the style JS6, all of them as, even if you're, I was reading Material UI, Chakra, and all of them, they're all doing the same thing. They're all using this button HTML attribute and HTML button element and so on.
So how do you fix it?
It has, I think, two ways of fixing. FC can get FC with ref, I think. It has something like that. And the other thing is you create a separate props and person to this type.
The button base.
Yeah, and again the ref getting a generic that it is HTML button element, and it's gonna fix it. But it's so annoying. We have like 50 components in our design system in our company, and all of them has the same shitty code.
Wait a second. Could you please explain a little bit more? How do I fix this particular case? I didn't really understand it.
Yeah. You have two options, I think, if I remember correctly.
Let's try both.
Except instead of FC, you can use, I think, FC with ref.
Really?
You have something like this in
well, I don't think. Wait a second. I don't think this has something to do with it, because here we define the prop types and the type definition for the button component, but we have the problem with the button base, not the button, because here everything is fine. Wait a second, it's not fine. Ref doesn't exist. You're right. We have two problems. I didn't notice it at first.
Yeah. The ref isn't.
Okay. What does it return? Forward ref render function. Whoa.
The thing that I'm always doing is creating a separate props alongside the size, the variant,
I think that's it.
The other properties.
Yeah.
But
otherwise, it's quite messy.
Yeah. And person to this HTML button type.
What? I didn't get it. So ref forwarding component, I think that's the right thing to do. And then we need to skip the first item there, because this is the P part of the component, right? The type is HTML button element, like this.
I'm not sure really.
Now this is confusing. So I just realized that it's easy for me to use TypeScript because I'm just used to some specific cases. I never did things like that.
Yeah, the thing is, I can show you some codes that most of the the main React libraries are
Mhm.
doing the same problem, as in the same problem.
Mhm.
Matter you are all of them. If you are check any of those components in GitHub,
Yeah,
they are
that.
writing almost the same code as us.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna Google the ref forwarded component. How to type it? Not working, someone says.
I have a workaround for that I'm always doing.
Ah, okay.
The other props, writing another type props and
Mhm.
ampersanding to this type. It's gonna always work. And React has a ref with a capital R that can accept the generic, and it's gonna definitely work. I tested 100 times.
I don't quite get your idea. You mean ampersanding is using in the intersection type, like this?
The button base, it's gonna accept a ref. The button props gonna accept a ref. We type R capital R ref at generic of.
Like this?
It has a delay in. No. The ref is a property. It's inside the button props.
Yeah. I mean, here you go.
And ampersand to this generic we write HTML button element, HTML button attributes, all of these things, and all of them going to be the type of props. Sorry, my English is absolutely broken.
No worries. Mine sometimes is even more broken. Button HTML attributes. HTML button elements. Okay.
Yeah, and the rest could be nullable.
Yeah. Okay, that's one approach.
Yeah, but I think it's a workaround. It should be has better. And the button props, the props should be type of button props. Ref forwarding, FC, and with button props.
Exactly, that's what I did. I did FC because we need the children there.
Yeah, delay, sorry.
Parsing an expression expected. What am I doing? Ah, okay. I see this thing. Okay, we still have an error. Type instance unknown is missing the following properties. Disabled form action. Okay. All right, let's have a quick 1-minute break and I will be back in a second.
Okay.
How do I mute myself? Jesus.
What's the actual issue?
Saying,
Go ahead,
it's
sorry.
hard to describe.
Sorry, I jumped on the discussion. You were discussing what we were doing?
Yeah. I was just wondering. So, are you discussing now? What's the actual topic at the moment? Obviously, I know it's a TypeScript, but
Yeah.
obviously, does a guy have some issues with?
So currently we're discussing typing the refs. So for example, if you need to be able to pass in the ref to your component, let's say we have a button and we need to be able to forward the ref to it, how to do it in TypeScript.
Yeah.
And also where to get those HTML element types specifically. Thing is that apparently I also don't really know how to do it because I never had to do this. So we're looking at how do we do this?
Yeah.
And we apparently have a bunch of issues. So thing is, that's one approach. And also I found that there is this ref forwarding component that should have some use in this case. So we're just messing around, learning how to code. I think we're doing something very much wrong.
Yeah, probably.
Turing, do you have?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Turing, you have a working example of such code. Could you maybe send it, or just to compare if we're doing something?
Multiple working version. I'll send it to your thing.
I think you can even send it to the general chat. I think it's fine this time.
Okay.
Let's try to change this thing. Yeah, we cannot really define a ref as a property. It seems. Well, that's interesting.
Sorry, it was a lot of code. It's gonna be messy. I send it to your personal,
Yeah, I see. Thank you. I think that's what we need. Button-based props are defined here. Okay. Color variant ref is a ref. Aha. We should have imported the ref button HTML attributes. Yeah. Plus this type. Okay, I think we were almost correct. I forgot the ref thing. Okay, that's one way to sort it out. Why is this thing still moody? Okay. Okay, seems to be fine right now. Can actually. And you said.
Yeah, but I think it's not right. I think.
Yeah, it feels like it feels a bit hacky. It feels like there should be something ready-made for this thing.
But I can send you a material example.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. How do they approach this thing?
They're doing the same thing, except I'm not sure about the ref part.
Yeah, but let's compare. It's interesting.
HTML bottom attributes, they're doing the same thing. I can send you.
That's cool. That actually is a very good example for the TypeScript course. Now I understand what is the problem about. Copy sandbox link. Okay. That's good. So while we have this little pause, maybe we just get to know each other. What is everyone doing? Can we start with Amir? Where do you work? What are you learning, maybe?
Hi, Maksim.
Hey, Amir.
Hi. Are you hearing me?
Yes, yes.
So this is the first time I use Discord, so I'm not very familiar with the interface and how to choose the volume and this kind of things.
Everything is all right.
Okay, super. So I'm a self-taught programmer, and I just had one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's about companies. So according to your experience, how do companies select technologies they work with? For example, programming languages or frameworks or these kind of things. What are the criteria they use to choose these technologies?
First of all, it depends. Different companies do it differently. Some companies even hear whatever is the most shiny new thing and they use that. I can give an example. How did we choose localization library for Mojang? There, I was assigned a task to find the library that we're going to use for the front end. I had a bunch of requirements. I don't remember all of them. One of them was that it needs to support getText format. It's a very old and quite popular translation format that allows you to have one of the things that it allows you to do is to have the translation itself as a key. You know, when you work with translations, usually it's just key value mapping. And the key in a lot of those libraries is something arbitrary. Like, let's say you're working on login page and you need a translated email input. So the key will be login.email. And you will actually have to invent this name. You'll have to decide that, okay, this translation, this text is going to be called login.input. And it's an additional overhead. You have to think about it. And it's hard to reuse because usually you will have to either know that, oh, I already have something similar and you need to remember the key, or you need to just invent a new key, create a new name for this text. And naming text is hard. When you use the translation itself as the key, English translation usually being the base translation, then you don't have this problem at all. So that was one of the requirements. Another one was that we need to be able to parse it automatically from the code so that we won't have to manually add the keys, and a bunch more requirements. What's important is that I have had them listed out. We want to do this, and that. And then I have had 1 week, maybe 2 weeks to just test a bunch of different libraries that looked the most promising. So, for example, if the library was changed last time a couple of years ago, then probably it's abandoned and you don't want to use it. So you want something popular, you want something well supported, well maintained, you want it to match all your requirements. But I think that's the perfect case when you really understand that, okay, we'll actually stick with this choice for a while. So we need to invest, let's say, a week, and we might save a lot of time in the future. But I know that in different companies, the process might be whatever you heard, the library is good, someone just convinced some other person, and then boom, you're using it for some reason.
Okay, thank you. Mojang is, I think, a very special case, but in general,
Indeed.
For example, some companies prefer Node.js, other companies Python, other C++. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that?
When you consider this type of technologies that are really big and they affect the whole ecosystem that you will have to support, I think it really depends. Most of the reasons why people stick with one or the other language, let's say, in my opinion, is that it's purely historical reasons. Who were the first people working in the company? What kind of skill stack did they have? So, for example, if the person was comfortable with Python, then you'll probably use Django and things like that. If it was a JavaScript developer, then you will most likely be stuck with Node. So it's not that people really make a conscious choice of Python versus Node or whatever. It's a lot of times it's just personal preference. If you had the developers at hand that used to use Ruby on Rails, that's it. You're going to be using this, and then because you had the core team using this technology, then all the newcomers will have to adapt, and they will actually be picked according to this legacy thing. Let's say. Not necessarily that it's bad legacy, but I mean that it's still just historical reasons.
Okay. What do you think about the future of Node.js? Some people say it will be replaced by something like Dino. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I can't look into the future. I tried out the Dino. It's it's strange. A lot of things are just very different from Node, like the way you use packages. This is quite unusual. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know how popular will it be.
Are there the same packages with Node.js? The packages of Dino, are they the same as the Node.js one, or are they different?
I think they use their own package distributing system. I don't think they use Dino. What is it? Package repository manager. Let's see what do they use. I think it's something separate.
They're using their own package system.
Yeah, because it looks like you just you don't download the packages. You don't have something like Node modules there, right?
Like Golang, yeah.
Yeah, it's very unusual to me because I didn't have experience neither with Go nor I worked with Dino too much. I just tried it out one time and didn't click for me.
Okay. So guys, maybe I interrupted you. You were on some code, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to find out how to. Yeah, no problem. We're trying to find out how to properly work with Reft elements. So Turing, I think you wanted to send a code from the.
Yeah, I sent the code from Chakra. I'm not sure if it's,
Right join props of component.
I didn't use that before.
Well, thing that I don't like here already is any. Well, why do they do right join props?
They create a map. I think they create a map from the elements that they're using, and when they want to forward the button, they're getting out the button from that map and continue there.
Let's try Googling also. What do people actually do? Styled component, but you probably did it already.
Yeah, but it's a workaround. I'm not sure if this is the right way.
Styled component 2018. Meanwhile, using ref as any. Okay, this workaround is still better.
I'm pretty sure seeing the code in Material UI, but I'm still trying to find it.
Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just copy this code that we were discussing and continue my research as well. Because, okay, I see the problem now. This is a very interesting thing, and definitely should go to this course. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to live code today a little bit. I know that React Hook form have been recently updated, and I want to try it out.
Yeah,
How
to
does it
version
work?
7.
Yeah, from what I've noticed, the only thing that really changed was that the register is not a ref anymore. Let's create another sandbox and try it out there.
Oh, yeah.
Syntax.
So yeah, Maxim, if you could touch on that React Hook form, that would be great. Because I'm kind of struggling with that new update as well. I just Googled them recently, and after the update, I'm struggling on connecting the radio button. So obviously, if you would be able to give a few examples, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. Do you see my screen?
I can send an example. I write it today.
Yeah,
that'd be
we can start with that. All right.
Yeah, by the way, guys, I recently got a job, and most of the code base is on Redux form, which is, by the way, deprecated. But on my job, they told me, hey, we have 80%, thousands lines of code on Redux form, so we do not have time to migrate to other form libraries, so you have to use it. And we are sort of hostages of the Redux form, and we have to use it on a project, so I have been learning it recently.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It depends on which project you're on, because I'm on a very big project that has thousands line of components. Each of them uses Redux form, so it's just impossible to stop using it. If you have all the developers stop their work and spend at least 2 months to migrate, which will not happen. So I will have to stick with the Redux form.
Also, congrats on the new job.
Yeah, true. Congrats.
Thank you. The job also is thanks to Max and his channel, because some of the interview questions I was able to answer because of his videos.
Whoa.
A lot of useful information.
Really glad to help.
I'm a really big fan of all the work that Max does, and it's really impressive.
Thank you.
I don't actually use React as much anymore. I try to focus more on React Native, but I'm stuck here with you guys.
Max, are you planning to release a React course for the English audience?
Yeah.
One for the Russian.
Yeah, the thing is that I have a cohort course that is in Russian. It's quite a lot of work. The course is quite big, I think. Right now it's 12 modules, and we cover everything starting from React up till security, using styled components, style guidist, storybook, a lot of things, everything around React. So the course aims to make you understand the whole area of front-end development using React. So it's not just React focused. It's how to be a front-end developer using React, something like this. But as it's a cohort course, I'm sort of using it those performers that use it as a stage to hone in their skills. This allows me to communicate with the students, learn what do people really want to know, and understand better how do I approach my work as a developer. So I hope after maybe next year I will release an English version. It's just English is not my mother tongue, so it's easier for me to work in Russian and then refine the material, and then when I have it, I can translate it to English.
I'll definitely be waiting this side.
Yeah, cool. I already have some audience for the course. That's nice.
By the time you release it, I'm going to be hopefully a mid-level developer. But I will advertise your course. I will promote it to all the people who ask me how to learn React.
Turing, but you sent me the control component, right? You mean the code example in the general? Okay, let me try first the thing that I was going to do with the radio buttons.
The control version for one of our friends that wants to use
Uh,
the radio button.
Why is nothing changing here? Use form. What do I need to install types? Yeah, Jesus. Why don't they just provide the types by default? Wait, what? I'm not very good multitasking.
It is written in TypeScript React 4.
Yeah, exactly. I just imported the use form from React.
From React.
Yes. I'm bad at multitasking. I was talking and then doing stuff, and well, doesn't play out too well. So what does it now? Okay, this type is just weird. So it either expects a string. Will it just accept a name? Fruit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. You can have template string types, and it will be different things. Look at this. No, wait. I'm going to remove it, and then we'll see the type suggestion. Look at this. Okay. Look at this. You see what it does? It's a template string with how do you call this thing? With a placeholder, whatever. That can be a string, or a string and a string and a string, or a string and a number. Whoa! I had no idea you can do this.
Yeah, it is recently added to TypeScript as far as I know.
So we can probably do, let's say, a const foo equals foo, and then const bar equals 3. And let's just have another one, const was equals string number boolean, let's say true. So we can do, let's say, foo, and this should actually work. All right. So this version of what the hell is going on? What is the TypeScript version we're using? .4.1.3. What is the latest version of TypeScript?
4.3, I think.
Yeah. 4. Point, can we do it like this? No. 4.3.0?
I think you can use latest in TypeScript. At latest, maybe. No, not here, in installing.
No, I mean, but this is, okay.
Is it working?
TypeScript, but how do we specify the version in Code Sandbox?
At sign latest, for example.
I don't think it recognizes it.
No?
No, I don't think so. Is it? What is going on? 4.2.4. I think that's the latest. Well, at least that's what it resolved to. No. Okay. 4.3 is still in beta. So 4.2 is the current version, the stable one. Okay, and then the error should actually go away. And it doesn't. All right, that's something to be aware of. Because this is weird, because it should resolve to a string. It's weird that it doesn't understand that it's the same type. It's still a string. Whoa. Now I want to have an interview with the React Hook form maintainer and to hear out what's the reason for this change. That's interesting. Okay, let's have labels. Label HTML4 Apple ID Apple. Here we close the label. We say Apple. Okay, here we have a label, closing tag.
I think when you're wrapping the input in the label, you don't need the HTML4.
Let's try it out. I think it's still good to do it. Let's see if it will work properly.
I think I read a tweet from the maintainer of React. I can't remember his name. That he said that.
Okay, it seems to work at least as intended. So you can click this thing and it will handle the click on a radio button. So probably you're right. Then we can remove the ID.
I'm not sure.
Well, it works. The functionality seems to be working properly. I think we'll still need to research in HTML standard if it's also the correct way to do it, because, well, it might be properly in terms of React, but what about the HTML that it outputs? Because I didn't see the HTML4 attribute on the element. So let's say it's just a fruit. Then we can do the same for all the other elements. Register fruit. I don't think I have to specify the name then, because it's going to already be specified fruit, right? Very banana, default checked. Here we have banana. Here we have here. Let's have an on submit. On submit equals handle submit. And here we have the data. Already have the type. Yeah, good. Form data and then the data. All right, now we should be able to see. Okay, we need a button to submit the form. Okay. No.
The data is type any also.
No, it doesn't. It should be correctly inferred. It's not any. Ah, that's the values have type any. That's right. Let's submit. Okay. Let's try to look at the console and then submit the button from data, fruit, apple. If you choose banana, it's banana. If it's pear, it's pear. Okay, who had the question about the radio buttons?
It's probably me. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone is interested, but so you've done with this example, or
yeah,
the thing is, yeah.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically, I have a custom buttons, you know, and I made it like with the React components as well. So it's I'm just, and obviously I import those radio buttons. So I'm just very confused as to how I should do it properly. You know, I think I made the code sandbox myself. Should I give you like the link or something to see?
Yeah. Let's do it. Go ahead. Send the link.
1 second. Yeah, it's a very simple example, but yeah, with this new update that got registered, like it seems like it's very confusing at the moment.
Yeah, I can see why. I was confused with this type definition. It was quite surprising that it doesn't understand that if you pass in the string, if it's a dynamic thing, then it's like it's still a string. So why is it complaining? But okay, yeah, please send the. Are you gonna send it to the general? Yeah, send it to the general channel.
Okay, one second. So everybody can edit this, like when I sent this link here, right? Like I didn't really understand how the content sandbox works.
So if they edit it, they will create a forked version. So your version won't be changed.
I think this is it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, use form.
Something, but
okay. Register. Okay, you see, first element should be a string. So if you would do it like this, I suppose, it should have worked, but it will still give us an error, I guess. Okay, why is this thing complaining? It's called in a function radio button.
Oh.
Yeah, you should call your components with capital letters always. That's one thing. So now this is correct. But this thing will still give us an error because somehow the template string with a placeholder being a string is not the same as a string for TypeScript. And this is confusing as hell. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's try updating the TypeScript to 4.3. If the error will go away, radio button, and
you see, is the whole like infrastructure because you know before obviously in JavaScript is different because you don't use any of these components, but is that how you're supposed to like style them? Obviously you have the app and look.
Where should I look?
Should just go an app and yeah.
Radio button.
And obviously you just pass these props.
Yeah, I think no, I think this is not really correct. So if your form is here in the app component, then the only place you use the register should be here. Then you should forward.
That's what I thought, you know, but.
So what I would do, I would just take all the props.
Like and how to make it clean as well, because I knew that it's not going to work, but I just you know I was thinking of trying to make it clean, but obviously.
Let's think about it. It's interesting. So first of all, I would rename this to radio button props. That's just my personal preference, just so I feel more like at home. I don't like to specify the return type. Not that what I'm doing right now is what is exactly correct. It's just how I'm used to do it. I'm just trying to reduce the mental load so I can reason about the code. Radio button props.
Yeah, I know. Like anything unnecessary that you want to get rid of, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Okay, let's make it like this. Okay, so I would actually pass all the props. Let's remove the type for now, so it's a bit easier. Props, and I will just pass them to the input. Props, whatever. And then we also need to have the title. Value, we don't really need it because it's going to be passed to the input anyway. Name as well, so only the title is actually something interesting to us. So here we then specify it as, okay, like we did in the previous example. No, not this one. Where was it?
Same problem again.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the same problem. Where is the code example? I've lost it.
I send you in your Discord.
But I found the previous example already. Thank you. Anyway. So we'll have it like this. Radio button props. I don't think we need the ref anymore. Yeah, it's a functional component. We don't need it to be a functional component, really. We can just say that it's button props.
Maxim, I have a question.
Mhm.
When you're passing property to the radio button, you should pass the props to the label or to the input. Which one is the
I do it to the input because
choice?
I think I will do it to the input because that's the target element that we actually want to control. And if you pass the name, it's the name of the input. Again, I would remove the name from here, type would be radio, and I would remove the value because we pass this everything like name, value, ID, checked. Everything that we might want to pass to this function, I think, should end up in the input. The label is just containing the span. I don't think we need a span here.
The thing is, I'm using differently. I'm passing the things to the label. My reasoning is because I'm always, we are using a custom radio buttons that they have a functionality of radio buttons, but they are not, anything like the radio buttons. And I'm always opacity 0 to the input.
Seems you do it wrong.
Yeah.
So seems you're doing wrong because this is the target element. If you're using custom components, so you can do it with whatever you want, but anyway, maybe you don't need the input anyway too.
No, I want to have the keyboard functionality. For example, the left and right arrow keys. That should be input.
You can use tab index instead.
Yeah, I can, but when the HTML natively support these things, should I do that?
So you can wrap the input and just pass everything you need to input, because when you wrapping input to a label, this label somebody left.
I know what you're saying. Have you ever saw that rating systems from 1 to 5 stars? There are also radio buttons. One of
one that can provide a link to a video when how the best way to make.
Yeah. I asked the same question from the React library guy. I forgot his name. React testing library.
Oh, wait, so the star functionality, though, those 5-star ratings, so they're actual radio buttons.
Radio buttons. Yeah, they're actual radio buttons.
No
yeah,
way.
I asked from wait, I'm gonna say his name. Where is his name? Okay, testing library.
Obviously, how would you do the whole styling, like on the hover and stuff like that?
Can't see that. I asked
so that if you want, I can send you a link, the better way to make, I don't know, accessibility.
Yeah, I can.
Accessibility, I just send you into general link. Actually, the part description, stuff like that in Russian, but I think the code, you can understand the code. Of course, it made on a just simple JavaScript and HTML, but anyway, I think you can get the idea.
Yeah, the things I'm doing, I use this code to
just check the general channel. So sorry, Maksim, for interrupting you.
Yeah, no worries. It's cool. It's that what makes those calls actually valuable, more valuable than if I would be just talking. That's super cool.
But don't you think, like in general, like just to build this, like connect this radio button functionality, it's kind of difficult, what it seems like.
Yeah, a lot of times very seemingly basic things, they are actually quite complex if you dig into it, and
Yeah.
and you consider
Because
that.
I think the first video I've seen of your channel was React Hook Form, and like when you explained it, it was very very simple.
Mhm.
They start updating and releasing these new updates, and it gets confusing.
Yeah, I understand.
Maksim, let me ask you about sharing your code.
Mhm.
Have you checked the feature of Code Sandbox sharing code, so you can share your project to others, so it could be edited or
Where should I do it?
on our right top corner, share.
Okay, and there is
Right top, right top.
this one,
No, right top.
right top.
Share.
Here, this one.
So you can copy Sandbox link.
No, on the right hand side. There is a avatar. Yeah.
No, share. This one.
Share blue thing.
Yeah, you can
Copy Sandbox link.
just copy Sandbox link.
Oh,
Yeah, but you can share with the other. Yeah, I suppose you can copy Sandbox here, right?
Yes.
Okay, here's the sandbox. I've pasted it to the general. I think there is collaborative.
Maxim,
Yep.
Also, I send you a link, guys, from using the radio buttons in rating components.
Oh, so is this like a library or something?
No, it's not.
Okay, let's look at it.
So
Rating.
what is it?
It is a native HTML. We are just hidden in the input. So when he click on the label, we can.
So it's very easy to implement, yeah? Is that what you mean?
Yes, yeah, it's so easy to implement.
Yeah, thanks for that, yeah.
All right, yeah, super cool. And it's not. Wait, is it React? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's React.
Yeah, quite cool.
I think it's and it also have an S-band that shows for the accessibility how many stars selected in the bit button of the page.
Yeah. So okay.
Even
so
the screen readers reads the 2 stars from 5. When you are using the arrow keys on the keyboard.
Wow.
It's so cool.
Sorry, just a general question, but obviously you guys know so many. Like I would never knew about this stuff, but is there such thing with React like a barcode scanner? Because it seems like it's a functionality that a lot of apps use, but
the new version of Chrome has this, but the support isn't that good.
What the barcode scanner?
I'm not sure if it's the barcode scanner, but the scanner in general.
Wow.
Yeah, Chrome recently, I think 1 or 2 years ago, it's added this thing.
Yeah, but the user would have to have a Chrome, right? Like the end user. See, that's the thing.
Yeah, and not on Chrome, but some of the browser are,
the same thing.
They're implementing the same.
Same thing with web speech API, which allow you to translate your speech to the text. So the same thing with the API, Google API, and Chrome, but the other browsers doesn't support it. So you can find a lot of features which support Chrome browser, but the other don't.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the code again, and I see that we're getting this error that we cannot forward a ref to the components. So I think we forgot to wrap the thing into a forward ref.
Tim, you sent me a link, but I'm not able to edit the same project as you.
I think it's done a little bit differently. I'm pretty sure that it's done on the left, live, and then I copy the live link.
Right.
Exactly.
You're right.
You see, all of a sudden, I actually knew how to do it.
You're right.
I really just
There's
forgot.
different link.
Yeah, jump, everyone. Let's jump on this code sandbox, and you can help edit it. Let's try it. Okay.
I suppose you should allow us to edit the file.
Chat enabled,
Because now we just
classroom mode. Everyone can edit. Done. Let's do it. Let's go. Okay. So what now? Seems like it's not working. Unexpected talking, expected semicolon. What? Okay, what now? Where is it expecting the semicolon? Let's reload it again.
So they don't show the line, the line number, or do they?
Not this time. No, this time we're getting another error that forward ref render function accepts exact two arguments, props and ref. Did you forget to use the ref parameter? Okay. All right. Why was it complaining in the first place? About now. Okay. This is confusing.
Now you're debugging the proof form, right?
Yes. The thing is, yeah. I think we need a forward ref. Probably.
What's the question? What's the problem?
Oh my god, what is going on?
I just spelled. So what's the problem? You want to make radio button, right? Just working radio button.
Yeah, 3 working radio buttons. Lose weight, gain weight, and build muscle. Problem is that we're currently getting a warning for the ref render function accept exactly 2 parameters. Okay. Say the second parameter is the ref.
There's a better way to make it, maybe.
That's what we're figuring out. Maybe it's a good time to go to the documentation and actually read it.
There's a lot of time. Sorry. A lot of times there is a Redux with this Redux form. A lot of time I have a working. You're just checking the API, right?
Yeah, I'm checking the API use form. Returns a register. We should be able to just pass it to the component. I'm gonna just look it up in the documentation, forward ref or something. They should have the, yeah, here they have it. No, they don't have it. I have a theory that we need to take this ref and then just pass it to the input. And we don't need to use the use form inside the radio button. It was kind of wrong. This thing is complaining because what?
That was the same problem. You're pressing the template the same. That's only the name.
Ref is not defined. Okay. Ref is defined. Now everything seems to be more or less okay. So what does the register return? Interesting. Let's say this one is default checked. Function components cannot be given refs. Attempts to access this ref will fail. Did you mean to use React forward ref? Okay, let's say we use it.
I think you're searching from the props.
Component is not a function. What?
Is the line in radio buttons correct?
Radio button seems to be correct. We have the ref defined here on line 4. We get it from the...
You're getting the ref from props. Is it correct?
I don't think so. I think it should
The
come
second
as a
argument.
second argument,
The
exactly.
second argument.
And it should be ref HTML input element. And then we don't need it here in the props, right? Then I pass it to the input. Should be all good now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now in the app, let's reload the thing again. Okay, now we don't have any errors, but we also don't see the thing looking properly. Radio button, display flex.
Oh wait, did you remove the span? Because I think I applied a lot of styles to it, so
I shouldn't have done it.
sure.
Boom. But it works like a checkbox. No, not yeah, like a checkbox. Not even uncheck it. How did you specify
that's
this?
the reason I use controller.
Radio button labels.
I use controller to fix it.
What's the name you provide to this input? Could you show the name of the?
I just
I
pass in
think
all the props and
the
then
name is the same or different? Show the.
They're different. They're different.
no, that was my
It should
stupidity.
be
Look,
the same.
look what I did. I destructured the name separately, and then I didn't pass it anywhere because I thought I'm passing it through the props. Not the case, of course. So when I remove it, everything starts to work correctly.
Oh,
But you do not pass the name for this input.
I do pass.
Could
Look,
you show the name?
yeah.
Where? You
We pass the register, and it passes the name to it. That's my theory.
Okay.
So that's the name. Actually, that's interesting. Let's check it out. Does it pass in the name when we pass the register? How do I see the whole? Okay, wait a second.
Okay.
Put it to the side. Not the one that I've expected. I'm confused. Okay, let's look at this inspector. Look at the element. Can it be not so like a radio? Yeah, you see, it sets the name exactly as I thought. Jesus, why so slow? But you see part of... Okay, trust me. This is the name goal. So register actually added the name to it. Good. Okay, I'm gonna... What? I'm gonna share it as another fork? Okay. RHF 7 TypeScript. Radio buttons. Save. I'm gonna... What?
So would it work now if you, let's say, if you submit the form, would it register everything you reckon? Actual input.
What did I just do? Why everything is red again? I think it should. Lose weight, gain weight, build muscle, things work. Where is the submit button? You don't have it. Let's add a submit button.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't. Forgot to.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit now. No worries. Button, submit. Here we need to handle submit, yada yada. You pass the handle submit. On submit form values will log it. Okay, that's good. Let's select the gain weight goal, gain
it's
weight.
working.
Yeah, it's working. Everything is good.
Right.
Nice. Let's wrap it up for today. I think it was almost 2 hours. I really like this format. It's
wow.
awesome.
Oh, that's really. Oh, the line for me was a little bit like out of sync, like by like 10 seconds. But yeah, wow. Thanks for that. You know, that's really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. I think we let's do it every Tuesday unless I have a guest. I think it's gonna be cool.
Sounds like a plan.
And your session, Maxim.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, wrapping up. I'm gonna end the stream. If you want, we can still chat for like 5 minutes here to 10 minutes in the Discord. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.